Hi, my name is Jordan, and today I'm going to share a horrifying case with you. Imagine a peaceful neighborhood in Wahlberg, Davidson County, North Carolina, where families live their everyday lives, children play, and neighbors greet each other warmly. In this serene setting, we find the Corbett household, where 39-year-old Jason Corbett lived with his American wife, Molly Martens, their two children, Jack and Sarah, and Molly's parents, Tom and Sharon Martens. Jason's story begins in Limerick, Ireland. He faced a tragic loss when his first wife, Margaret, passed away from an asthma attack, leaving him alone with two young children. Seeking help, he hired Molly Martens, a 24-year-old from Knoxville, Tennessee, as an au pair. What started as a professional relationship soon blossomed into romance, and they married, blending their lives and families. Their life in North Carolina seemed idyllic. Jason worked as a plant manager for an international packaging company, a job that brought him and his family to the United States. Molly, apart from caring for their children, found joy and purpose in coaching a local children's swimming team. To the outside world, they were a happy, successful family. But on the night of August 2nd, 2015, this picture of domestic bliss was shattered. It was a Sunday night, like any other, until a 911 call at 3 a.m. broke the silence of the night. Tom Martens, Molly's father, was on the line with a shocking confession. His words to the operator were chilling. "I think I may have killed him. He's in bad shape. We need help. He's bleeding all over." The him Tom referred to was his son-in-law, Jason Corbett. When emergency services arrived, they found a scene that contradicted the peaceful life the Corbetts had portrayed. Jason lay lifeless, with multiple severe injuries to his head. Despite efforts to save him, it was too late. Jason Corbett was pronounced dead at the scene, a tragic end to what had seemed like a happy story. The aftermath of the 911 call was a flurry of activity. Paramedics rushed to the scene only to find that their efforts to revive Jason were in vain. The Davidson County Sheriff's Department quickly got involved, trying to piece together the events of that fateful night. Tom and Molly were taken to separate police cars, a standard procedure in such cases. At the police station, their accounts of the night's events began to unfold. Molly, visibly shaken, recounted a tale of domestic violence and fear. She described how an argument with Jason escalated, leading to him attacking her. In her version of the story, Tom had intervened with a baseball bat to protect his daughter from her enraged husband. However, the physical evidence at the scene told a different story. Despite Molly's claims of a violent struggle, neither she nor her father showed signs of injury. No bruises, scratches, or any marks that would suggest a recent fight. This discrepancy raised immediate red flags for the investigators. The questions began to multiply. What really happened in the Corbett household that night? Was this an act of self-defense as claimed by Molly and Tom, or was there something more sinister at play? The lack of injuries on Molly and Tom contrasted starkly with the severe trauma Jason had suffered. The scene at the Corbett house, once a symbol of a happy family life, had turned into a complex puzzle, with pieces that didn't quite fit together. As the investigation continued, more details about the family's past began to emerge, painting a picture far more complex than anyone outside the family could have imagined. The story of Molly Martens, a woman with a troubled past, began to unfold, revealing layers of complexity to this already mysterious case. The investigation into Jason Corbett's death brought to light more than just the events of that tragic night. It opened a window into Molly Martens' past, a past filled with struggles and challenges that few knew about. Molly grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee, in a family that was well respected and accomplished. Her father, Tom, had dedicated 3 decades of his life to the FBI, and her mother was a renowned mathematician. Despite this stable and nurturing environment, Molly's life was not without its trials. After high school, Molly pursued a medical degree at Clemson University in South Carolina. It was a path that seemed to promise a bright future. However, the rigors of academic life proved overwhelming for her. The pressure was immense, and Molly found herself unable to cope. Eventually, she made the difficult decision to leave university, a choice that marked the beginning of a turbulent period in her life. Molly's mental health became a significant concern. She was diagnosed with depression and had disclosed to her then-boyfriend, Keith Megan, that she was bipolar. This revelation set the stage for a relationship fraught with emotional ups and downs. Keith, who worked at a local nonprofit organization, and Molly, who worked as a nanny and swimming instructor, seemed to find happiness together initially. But as Molly's mental health issues intensified, so did the challenges in their relationship. The couple faced a heartbreaking moment when Molly suffered a miscarriage in 2007. This loss only added to her emotional turmoil. Seeking help, Molly's parents arranged for her to stay in a psychiatric unit at Emory Hospital in Atlanta. The goal was to stabilize her condition and find the right medication. But even after her return, the relationship with Keith couldn't withstand the strain. Molly's mental health struggles continued to cast a shadow over her life. In a turn of events that would change the course of her life, Molly decided to leave the United States. She moved to Ireland to work as a live-in nanny, a decision that led her to Jason Corbett, and eventually into a new chapter of her life. Little did anyone know that this move would be the beginning of a journey that would end in tragedy. Molly's past, with its challenges and struggles, was now a crucial piece of the puzzle in understanding the events that led to Jason Corbett's death. The investigation was peeling back layers of a life that was far more complex than the happy facade presented to the world. As the authorities delved deeper, the case against Molly and her father began to take shape, leading to a trial that would reveal even more startling details about the night Jason Corbett died. As the case against Molly Martens and her father Tom moved to trial, the layers of this complex story began to unfold in the courtroom. The trial, set in 2017, promised to reveal the truth behind the mysterious death of Jason Corbett. The prosecution and defense prepared to present their versions of what transpired on that fateful night. Adding to the prosecution's case was the toxicology report, which revealed a sedative in Jason's system, prescribed to Molly just 2 days before his death. This finding raised suspicions about the circumstances leading up to the altercation. Furthermore, a change in Jason's life insurance policy, making Molly the sole beneficiary, added a potential motive to the prosecution's narrative. In contrast, the defense painted Molly and Tom as victims of Jason's alleged aggression. They highlighted Molly's claims of domestic abuse and argued that the events of that night were the culmination of ongoing violence in the household. However, the lack of physical evidence supporting their claims of a struggle that night posed a significant challenge to their defense. The trial took a dramatic turn when photos taken of Molly and Tom on the night of the incident were presented. The images showed no visible injuries on either of them, contradicting their story of a violent struggle with Jason. This discrepancy raised serious doubts about their version of events. After days of testimony, including harrowing details from the night of the murder and the complex dynamics within the Corbett household, the jury was left to deliberate. The decision came after less than 5 hours of discussion. The verdict was clear. Tom and Molly were found guilty of second-degree murder. The court sentenced them to 20 to 25 years in prison, a decision that seemed to bring a conclusion to the tragic saga. However, the story was far from over. In 2020, an appeals court found errors in the original trial, including the exclusion of evidence that could have supported Molly and Tom's claims of self-defense. This decision led to the overturning of their convictions and the order for a new trial. Reopening a case that many thought had been closed, the overturning of the convictions of Molly Martens and her father Tom in 2020 set the stage for a new chapter in this ongoing legal drama. The decision by the appeals court to grant a new trial was based on the belief that critical evidence had been excluded in the first trial, evidence that could have potentially supported the defense's claim of self-defense. As the new trial commenced, the focus shifted back to the night of Jason Corbett's death. The defense team worked to introduce new evidence and testimonies that they believed would paint a different picture of the events leading to Jason's death. They aimed to show that Molly and Tom had acted in self-defense against an aggressive and violent Jason. However, the case took another dramatic turn when Jack and Sarah, the children of Jason and Molly, recanted their initial statements. They claimed that they had been coached by Molly's family to lie about witnessing domestic abuse by Jason. This revelation was a significant blow to Molly and Tom's defense, as it cast doubt on the credibility of their claims of self-defense. In November 2023, after an emotionally charged trial, the judge delivered the final verdict. Molly Martens and her father, Thomas, were found guilty of voluntary manslaughter. This verdict was a step down from the original second-degree murder charges, reflecting the complexities and uncertainties that had emerged during the trials. The sentencing was equally emotional. The court handed down sentences ranging from 7 to 30 months for both Molly and Tom, in addition to the 3.5 years they had already served following their initial conviction. As they were led out of the courtroom in handcuffs, it marked the end of a long and tumultuous legal journey. The case of Jason Corbett's death leaves many unanswered questions. It highlights the complexities of family dynamics, the challenges of navigating mental health issues, and the intricacies of the legal system. The story of Jason, Molly, and Tom serves as a stark reminder of how quickly lives can be changed forever by a single night's events. As the community and the families involved continue to grapple with the aftermath of this tragedy, the story of Jason Corbett's death remains a poignant and cautionary tale about the unforeseen consequences of domestic turmoil and the often unpredictable nature of the justice system. Thanks for watching. Share your opinion about this story in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Take care.